through the,
Anyway,
she didn't walk through the other day, so she didn't see how to get down the place. Hopefully she'll be a little smarter than I am.
Open now.
It's just hard to really walk down Carmack to have a still space. I mean, it's just no shoulder at all.
All right, 7:02, let's call it to order. All right. 7:02 p.m. Calling it to order, and our next order of business is introduction of new board members. Do we have names for them?
Yeah, so we've got Jana Spicer here, who's the alderman that's on the board. So she's representing for that. And then Morgan Holloway, she's joining us, taking the place, I guess. I don't even know at this point. Is it Helen that I guess she's taking the place of?
Yes. Right.
So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, welcome.
I don't know if you guys wanted to say anything or not, but I'll leave it up to you guys.
That's okay. It goes out there if I don't say anything.
Well, we're going to turn it around. Let's introduce ourselves to you. Start down there at the end.
Linda Brooks.
I'm Stephen Russell. I'm the maintenance supervisor at the park.
And I'm Kevin Whitaker, the Parks Director. And Selena will be here later. She's our Assistant Director. She's coaching the volleyball team right now, so she'll be done in 15 minutes or so.
Maureen Bowling, citizen.
Maureen, how long have you been on the board?
5 years.
5 years, that's something.
And I am Jim Borelli, the chair. I've been here on this board, I don't know how many years. 9?
Probably.
9. Prior to that, library board, 3 years. Prior to that, museum board for 9 years. Citizen, live around the corner, been so 20 plus years altogether. Just making a difference, trying to.
Good.
Can't get rid of them.
Kind of like you.
And we coach together too. So.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Smith, I think I've been on the board 10 plus, something like that, I guess. So been around the local, live here in town for now.
That's right.
Yeah.
For now?
For now.
No, don't tell me that.
This is doing another one, huh?
I'll say it again.
He's doing that on purpose.
For about a year now, I've been maybe as an alderman, and then I'm Jerry Herman, I'm city manager, and Mark, I think, well, my wife was on this board years ago, back, a long time ago.
It's been longer than 10 years.
Well, it's been longer than 10 years ago she's been on the board, so you were there with her then, so you've been on the board for a while.
I'm thinking of when we paid off lights, and that was more than...
I want to say that was 13, 14 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's been a while. Been a while.
He's trying to say you're old, Mark.
Shall we jog your memory?
Yeah. It's time for new blood.
Hey, but welcome. We appreciate your willingness to serve and help and do what we can, because this is Kevin's show, and we're gonna make it happen. All right.
It's actually all good. We're just here to kind of help with being a sounding board for the other citizens in the community. And if somebody has ideas or there's things that these guys can't be out there in front of everything that goes on. You might be at a local ball game, sporting event. You might be at the the library or anywhere. You hear things or have ideas. I think it's really what we're here to do is kind of help be a sounding board for the guys here that have to make all the hard decisions. So it's good.
All right, let's do a roll call. Looks like we have everyone, including new members. That is great. All right. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from March 2nd? All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of March 2nd.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Carlos, thank you. And we have reports next.
Okay. I'll probably have to give Selena's too. We'll see how long mine takes. So the soccer complex renovation, the second phase of that, we've just continued working with TDEC as part of the grant to submit everything that they asked us to submit. We've put up a bunch of signage and stuff here lately because as part of this grant, well, with every grant, we have to put up signs for it, but then as a part of this one, they said we have to make sure that all of our past grant sites have to have all the required signage and everything, and has to be a certain way. So we've gone through and made sure we've done that, which we've got 4 sites, I believe. Well, it lists 5, but I can't figure out where the 5th one is. It's got something listed for the early 90s that I have no idea what it's referring to, but other than that, we've got all the other ones with the proper signage and everything, so we're good there.
You might remember which ones they were?
There's the RTP grant we got for the trail.
City Park. Yeah.
We got the amphitheater and playground here, City Park, this one, and that's it. I don't know what the 5th.
I think it was the quad.
Yeah, City Park, that's what I was saying,
Yeah,
the quad
the
one.
quad, and we had the trail there, that's 2 there.
And then
there's another one.
the
I bet the
amphitheater
trail,
playground.
I bet it might have been one of the trailheads or something from the green, when they put the greenway in, I'll bet they probably.
Yeah, but this was like 1991 or something is what they got listed, so I don't think it was that. I don't have any idea what it is, like.
Yeah, it's not that because
Yeah, the Greenway is like the
original
late
Greenway
nineties,
was
early
late
2000s.
90s. Yeah, we ran track over there.
That was later 90s?
Yeah, later 90s.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is, so, yeah.
Can you
We won't have signs for that, cause
Can you inquire about it? And see
Yeah, I
what it
probably
is?
will. If they push back and say, oh, you gotta have this one, then yeah, I'll ask them, well, what is it?
Most likely it was the City Park.
Yeah, I would think. Maybe it has something to do with the football field or something, I don't know.
Was the junior pro field a grant?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
think so. I don't believe so.
And that's more recent anyway, it's probably been early nineties.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, so, I don't know. But yeah, if they give me some kickback about that, then yeah, I'll find out what it is. Hopefully they're not gonna be too hard on that, but either way, the bid package was put together for, the second phase of this, and we'll go out for bid in July. We'll have a pre-bid at July 27th, and then the bid opening on August 7th, but we're kind of slow playing it, until the, soccer season is over, so it'll probably be November when we actually start breaking ground on this thing, and hopefully we won't interrupt the spring season too much, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
What were the other renovations are part of the parking lot area? What other renovations are
There's
included?
gonna be a pavilion, sidewalks, ADA accessible sidewalks leading to, and of course lighting, and I think there's they've gotta put a stormwater area in, but yeah, the main piece is the parking lot.
Do you have that available to you?
Maybe somewhere in here.
I don't know if you do or not, if you don't, it's fine. So we can kind of get an overhead look at it.
Probably not.
Okay.
The next thing is the tennis courts, which I'm pretty sure this was like literally the day after our last meeting when we had this major windstorm.
It was.
It was.
I think I've got some of those pictures here. But, yeah, and they,
It looks pretty rough still.
yeah, so this was just one of the courts that had this kind of damage, and I'll get to the other one in a minute, but, yeah. Pretty much that windscreen has just acted as like a heavy thing that is not good with wind. And then this was the other, court that happened to it. It's not too bad. We were able to get all that off of there in still use it. But, they just now came out this week and they started, they've taken the old fence off, everything, so getting ready to put the new fence up, but, it probably will be the end of this month, early June before that's completely done. I'm not sure what the plan is with the windscreens, like if we're going back with the same thing or what, but.
I think maybe more holes in it or something, maybe you
Yeah.
guys try that. I mean, it's really lightweight fabric, it's not
Yeah.
like it's heavy, it just,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, do we have any way to check on it from, maybe from engineering standpoint, to look at whether or not the fence is compliant to work with those windscreens?
The engineer designed it, our engineer did, his company, so I would hope they did.
Yeah, we'd hope so.
Yeah, I think it's the last thing we said, well, we'll check with Mike, cause I know the mayor wanted the screening because it just takes away the sun from the players, I guess. I've seen other ones where they took them down because of winds, but, I know we're gonna try to do a ribbon cutting too for this, we had it scheduled, we're gonna reschedule that. A dedication, I believe, too, for to the name of the tennis courts, or at least in memory of. So that, I think that they're established, preparing for that, I know that, so.
And can we make sure that we all get, invitation for that?
Yeah.
The board?
Yeah, when we set that date, yeah, we'll send it out. The Greenway Bridge restoration, which I know I brought up in here before, just, that small bridge at Tyree Springs that's slumping. I've been in contact with the concrete company that we awarded the bid to, but we're probably just gonna wait until school's out, because we gotta block off the road in order to do it, so we don't wanna do that while school's in, so hopefully it'll be done by the end of the budget year, because it shouldn't take very long once they do it, but it's just getting them out here, so. Our cemetery software, we're pretty much good to go. We're out in the public, we just haven't put anything on the website yet. We're trying to integrate all the software in with our website and do all that, but it's all live, so, I think I just kind of show where, like, just the one feature of it to be able to walk to your grave where you can search for somebody, and then, it kind of gives you a little, like a GPS sort of thing, and show you how to get to it, so. You just kind of have to walk around and figure your way out a little bit. It's not the easiest thing, but at least it's something. The playground restoration is finally complete. We finally got the parts in for the swing and got it installed this week. The splash pad maintenance building, we decided to resize that building so that we weren't covering up the holding tank. Because we will eventually have to replace that thing, so we just thought it was better not to cover that up. And they've already done the redesign and everything, and Jerry just signed the change order this week for it, so hopefully construction will start soon, I guess, once they find the brick and everything that they need to get for it, so. And we're still going forward with no opening of the splash pad this year, just with all the construction going on. Of course, the building, whenever it starts, I mean, it'll be impossible to have it open at that point. So, the
There's
cemetery,
no way to open it?
not when we have that building.
I think when we cut a section of, when the fence is down on the one side, they cut a section of the concrete out already, it's just not safe at this point. I told the mayor that as soon as we can get it safe, we'll open it up. If they can get it done before the end of the season, we'll try to open it up.
Because there's a lot of chatter out there on social media.
I know that, yeah.
Well, you gotta think too.
I will say that I did ask the fire department, because the library's gonna do this, they have a night with, a day when the fire department comes out and waters down the kids. So I asked them if they could do that, they're gonna do one each month, June, July, and August. It's just one day. I know that the kids will love it when the firemen are spraying water all over the kids and all that. So we're at least to do that, but as soon as we can get it open sooner, we'll try to get it open sooner, as soon as I know it's safe for the kids to be around that area.
The cemetery fencing project is actually, they're done today. except for the change order portion of it. They gotta come back and run it all the way up to the column, but all the way up basically to where some of the hedges, the main hedges there start, they've run it all the way up to there today, so. But we did a change order so that we could go all the way up to the column, because at first we thought maybe those hedges and everything didn't belong to us and belonged to Mr. Palmer. We got a survey and it showed that we own well more than that, so, he disagrees, but whatever. But we agreed, we talked with them, and we're gonna cut back the hedges just a little bit to where they can still stay alive and everything. And it should be all good, and they've actually, I saw over there just now, they left a little pathway so he can come back over there and still cut them and everything, if he wants to. So, but yeah, they were having a little trouble, I think, getting their materials for the change order stuff, so, hopefully they'll, get that before the end of the budget year. Just some of the upcoming projects that we haven't done yet. The top dressing of our soccer fields, we don't do that until June every year, so that'll happen then. The dog park parking lot, we actually decided to kind of push this project. The design really hasn't even started yet, so it won't get done this year. And then we'll just start trying to design it a little bit in next year's budget in conjunction with a restroom facility in the back as well. That'll be the next big project at the park. So I think that's all. Yeah. That's all I've got. I guess I'm going to do Salinas. All right, so our men's basketball is going on Monday nights. We have 9 teams for that league. We should be ending that up, the last tournament game, on May 31st. Oh, here she is. She can finish it up. I just got started on your report.
Could you open the door in her? She's got the other door I closed it, so.
Yeah, it's locked on the other door, I think.
Yeah, just let her in there. Kind of, if I realized you was going to put my picture in your report, I'd take a better picture.
What's wrong with me?
Oh, looks like we're on men's basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Alrighty. Men's basketball is ongoing. We're projected to end on May 31st with the championship game. And then adult softball will end in a couple of Thursdays. Or Mondays, sorry. Ooh. Again, 4 teams with them, and I think we'll have pretty good turnover into the fall with the teams that we have now. And we may end a week earlier, depending on weather. We're trying a new league this summer. We're going to do a 4v4 adult sand volleyball league. It's an underutilized space in the park. It doesn't have lights, so we can't do it during the week, so we're going to try it on Sunday afternoons when the parks aren't busy. It's self-refereed, so it'll be a pretty accessible league for our adults to try out financially. Youth athletics volleyball's going strong. We'll end, I guess, 2 Thursdays from now will be our last game. We've had interest in the coming season, so I think it'll have another strong turnout. Parents seem pretty happy with the way the season's going. And of course, Challenger Baseball started this past month. We did pretty good with them. They had $1,200 in sponsorship, so they were pretty much able to cover the cost of the league. We have a police and fire game scheduled for May, and then we're going to use the Miracle Park out in Gallatin as a final celebration game for them this year to try something different and to give them a different experience.
I have a question on that. Have you thought of, Springfield just started a Challenger League for
Mhm.
the spring. Have you thought about inquiring with them and seeing if you can buddy up with them? Because they had, I think, 14 kids or something like that.
Yeah,
There's like 4 teams
yeah,
or
we
something.
reached out. They have, I don't know if it's how exactly it's broken up, but they said they had enough to do 4 teams. They didn't have the schedule ready when I reached out to them because I was going to try to do like an exhibition game and try to get our leagues to intermingle. So that might be something we work into next year and keep just growing different
One of the
experiences.
big sponsors of that is Shine Pediatrics. They work with special needs kids. That's all they do. So it'd be good to, I think you might ought to even reach out to Erin Cobb is her name. She might be a good person to get with and even hand out flyers for next season, because maybe kids that are closer to White House would want to play in White House rather than Springfield, and they could still buddy up with them.
Yeah, and it's definitely.
Well, it's crazy because
Right.
Daryl, our coach, he's from Springfield, and he's a employee of ours, but he coaches it, but he's from Springfield, and they've tried to reach out,
Right.
to all kinds of places. I don't know what it is, why we don't get more, but it's just seemed to be kind of low numbers with baseball here in the last few years. But,
Yeah, and we'll see. I think there's definitely room for growth because I don't know. In the past, we're still finding people that don't know about it,
Right.
And so I think it will change as long as, especially if we keep promoting like how our White House, our spring league is helping us, and they're having cool experiences, and we're seeing other teams.
So you might even reach out to the schools have CDC classes, and you might reach out to both counties and see if you might get any interest there too.
And we have Christy is in that world. She teaches for one of the counties. I don't remember which one. Robertson. So, and getting anything into the schools is still an ongoing battle for us. So.
Yeah, Robertson is a lot easier than Sumner.
Yeah.
But,
I know someone on the summer side, so
Yeah,
we
get
could
us in.
talk. So we could talk because we did all that when we did the special needs soccer
Yeah.
leagues and stuff. So.
Yeah, get us in.
Yeah,
It'd be
so
nice.
we're open to making new connections, and it'd be awesome to grow the league as large as possible. In the upcoming summer or fall, we'll be sticking with youth baseball, softball, and girls volleyball. So registration for that opens this coming month as well. You know my next slide. So this is our first year doing our White House, the Great Egg Hunt, which I think it turned out pretty well. We had pretty positive feedback with it. 80 households participated with 240 submissions. So I think it was worth doing, and I think we'll do it again. Even if we had an in-person egg hunt, having 80 families there would have been good. So I'm pretty pleased with it. It reached several demographics. So that was a good turnout for that. And then in our upcoming events, we have our 5K registration opening up in 2 weeks as well. And then, do I have anything for picture for social media?
I don't think so.
Okay. So our Facebook page is doing pretty good. We have 528 followers, which is I think like 100 more than what we had at our last meeting. Our special event announcements were the strongest performing, along with like facility updates, and especially with our storm damages from the windstorm we had a couple months ago. So it's going pretty good. Thanks for everyone that likes it. I see it pop up every day. I'm like, yeah, good guys.
Ready for me?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll start out circling back to what Kevin was talking about on the wind. We had like 30 plus trees that we had to go take care of, and unfortunately a lot of them was this size right here, so took us a little while, but we got them.
I had one of my own there. So.
I had it all. Gonna throw me off. But we we've got I don't know if anybody's been through the park, we've got a huge pile that we're gonna have to get the brush carried out or took to Public Works, but we will get it done before Junior Pro football starts. But I think we spent the remainder of March cutting trees pretty much every day. I mean, it was a job. But I don't know about y'all, but I hadn't seen wind like that, and I mean, for that many hours to blow like that was wild.
I've never seen it.
Lost the fence.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
Me too.
Yeah, mine got put over there.
well, what do we do with that wood? Do we, if you wanna drag it off to Public Works or whatever, what about offering it to folks that want firewood?
They can come pick it up if they want.
Come pick it up.
We can't take it to people, but, you know,
No,
they
let them
can
come pick it up.
Yeah,
I
they
guess
can.
if you wanna try that, put it on social media, see if people wanna come get the wood, they could. I mean, that might help you get it moved faster if you wanna do that. You just
You want me to pencil you in, Jim?
I'll have to
Yeah,
look.
he's gonna come work.
No, I had 2 trees down on my own property, so I'm good.
Yeah, so go get it real quick, you're like, I'll make breaks out of this.
But seriously, there were folks that will drive in and pick it up.
Yeah.
Take it off.
There's
There
been
will be.
people, I'm sure Joe Biden wanted it.
Yeah.
You take some pictures and put it up on your social
Yeah.
media site, just that it's gonna be at their own risk, they'll have to pick it up and take it all out themselves.
Yeah, take it. Please. If you wanna go over and get some dirt from the cemetery, have that too.
But the point is, put it out there, right? Put it out there so folks know that they can come get it.
I think at a certain point it becomes a little bit of a liability, it's just, we wouldn't want a lot of people coming up there and getting their chainsaws out and all that kind of stuff, but,
They'd have to reach out, right, to get it.
now I want somebody to come over to the cemetery with a
You don't
skid
want
loader or something, but.
You don't want a free-for-all. You don't want a free-for-all at the park or the cemetery.
Yeah, yeah. No, we'll put it out there.
Next thing, at the soccer complex, we had one of our sidewalks, got damaged by a bucket truck, which was there changing out bulbs for us on the field. And a lot of y'all know that it's not really set up good to get a large bucket truck from one side to the other. You have to run over the sidewalk, and fortunately he got it this time. But our staff was, able to, yeah, you might recognize this guy in the crowd over here.
That's been a week, not forever though.
No, you're good. I found these pictures on my phone, so.
Oh, yeah, it better not.
Well, they would make them bigger, it's the only reason I put them on here.
We were able to get 2 infields laser graded this year. We had to do it a little later than we normally like to. We kind of like to do it in the winter time where they're kind of seasoned in when ball season starts, but this year's rain didn't let us do that, so, but we were able to get it done before games started. And we'd like to keep them on a rotation, so next year we'll pick 2 more fields to do and just keep rotating them through. And another good thing is we bought our own equipment, so we were able to do all this in-house. So. We put out our first round of fertilizer on all of our sports fields at the park and the complex. In the next couple of weeks, we'll spray out the ryegrass and then hit it with another round of fertilizer. It's just kind of a step process, but we're almost there to the Bermuda point. And next year, we've been tossing around, maybe not overseeding the soccer complex next year. We'll see. We can do so much more, in my opinion, when it's not overseeded. It's that time of year, we're mowing grass every day, all day. Mowing our sports fields twice a week. And I just made a little thing there. We average about 60 mowing hours a week. So the guys do a great job keeping things up.
Just wanted to show I took some drone shots of the ball fields and stuff try to get them when they're as green as we can, but just kind of showing what they look like. Of course, the backfields aren't really treated or anything, except for the junior pro field, but we don't overseed it. We just leave it with the Bermuda. But in our soccer fields, you can see that the new soccer field's getting the most wear, it looks like, but, yeah, just wanted to kind of show off our fields a little bit to what they're looking like, so. I think that's it.
That's all I had.
All right, we have a motion to approve the reports.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Thank you for saying that. And move on to the next item, monthly report.
Kind of show where we're at for this month. I haven't even had time to really review this stuff, but just kind of showing, obviously our pavilion usage is up for this time of year, which is surprising, considering we haven't had the splash pad pavilion going, but our ball field rentals are a little down from last year, but again, I think I've mentioned this before, I think last year was maybe like the biggest year we'd ever had in our ball field rentals, so it was due to come down a little bit. It's still pretty strong, but for some reason our pavilion revenue is down significantly from that. I don't know. I guess the people have just been using it more without paying for it, like just chamber stuff or whatever it is that they don't have to pay for it. But I'm sure, I think the schools have maybe had field days out there and stuff like that. So then of course our ball field rental, of course, is down, obviously. Our facility usage is actually up from this time last year, so that's really good. I guess just a result of having the community room. It's been used quite a lot here lately. I guess the revenue part of it is just because we, you know, I'm sure a lot of it's chamber events, again, that are going on there that they haven't had to pay for it or whatever. And of course,
probably paid for it a month or two ahead.
or that too, yeah. And we've got, and we're lower than 19 and 22, but of course, you know, you got to remember we used to have a church that was paying us a whole lot of money to use the auditorium every Sunday, so that took a hit from that. Just on our programming and special event revenue, it's a little down from this time last year. That's just a result of, you know, when we record our revenue for certain sports and stuff. I'm sure we probably recorded like all of our spring sports back in March or something, so it was probably extremely high, and so we just maybe didn't take in as much as we did previously last year. But I mean, all of our programs this year are more than what we had last year. So our museum attendance is a little bit down from this time last year, which I'm pretty sure it's been down the last few months from the previous year. So I don't know the reasoning for that. Maybe we just need to highlight it a little bit more. I know she had some exhibits that went away, so maybe she didn't really have any special exhibits this month to really drive people there or anything, but our senior programming attendance is actually down, which is surprising to me, as much as we get for like our meals and everything else, and it seems to be doing well, but I guess just yeah, that's true, yeah. And our exercise teacher has been out for, I don't even know how long, over a month.
2 months,
Yeah.
I think.
And Selena's actually been teaching the yoga, so I guess they don't like her as much.
I have great attendance on my day.
No,
it's
it's
the
just-
other exercise days.
It's just they don't get to use the gym, so they like using the gym, so when we force them to go to the senior center, they don't really come as much, so that definitely doesn't help some, but, so when she comes back, hopefully those numbers will go back up. But like I said, our meals, I mean, I'm gonna mention this again, our senior meals are just, it's crazy. We're probably averaging 130 to 140 every week, which, I mean, I don't even think we came close to averaging 100 before this year. I mean, it's crazy how much it's gone up, so. As far as our offerings, we're offering just a little bit more than we were, this time last year, so that's good. We keep increasing the number of programs. And then again, just, I don't know why the first time visitors is down, and, I mean, I guess last year we weren't even in the new building then, so I don't know what the reason for the first time visitors being, down so much is, but it's, I mean, you're talking 20 people versus 3 people or something, so it's not a significant difference, but I don't know. Maybe we've just got so many that they're set with how many they got, I don't know. Just going into our budget stuff, all of our general fund budgets are under budget. Actually, the senior budget, if you add in the encumbrances, it's over budget, but the only reason for that is her senior meals that we have to do a large PO for that for the rest of the year, so, but everything else is looking good. Just on our special funds budget, everything is where it needs to be. And Parks Impact Fee, we've just had 2 projects in that, like I explained before, and we bought both of those and have them in-house, so that's why it's at 100%. So, just as far as our revenues go, we're down in our cemetery. The reason for that is I guess we projected a little high because we had so many burials last year, and so I guess we just projected to come close to that again, and we have not even come anywhere close to that this year. So, which, I mean, I'm not saying is a bad thing. We don't want people to die. Our park sales tax revenues, I'm not sure, Jerry might know more for that.
We're on target, we're getting all our goals, actually, we're exceeding our goals for sales tax.
And then our Parks Impact fees is just obviously way over, which is good, so. I think that's, yeah. So that's all I've got. Any questions on any of that stuff?
I make a motion to approve the monthly report.
I'll approve the reports.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to old business, a rec center update.
You want to take that?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, well, I think, you know, the main thing was, for us, was trying to stabilize the gymnasium to keep it going, and, of course, it came with its own set of issues, and the water line, we had to reroute a new water line, which we didn't anticipate, and a sewer line. They both were running right, those lines were running right to the area that we're gonna be digging out for the new foundation for the new rec center. So we've got them completely out of the way now. Even the heating air conditioning unit, it's up against the building, was still in the way for where they had to make sure they provided a safe, I guess, hole to dig in for their employees, and that they're gonna be, the contractors gonna be in that hole. So we had to move that, so we had to pour a new pad for that and move that out of the way. So now I feel like we're pretty well set. Now the parking lot on the other side is by it, the folks that built this building, R.G. Anderson, they were responsible for demolition and doing that parking lot, and they've gotten way behind, almost 5 months behind, and so it was delaying Romac from being able to, new contractors, to be able to dig out what they needed to. So we had a meeting, we had our monthly meeting yesterday with the contractors, and I just had to make a decision, say that that's it, folks. Monday, we have to close the back lot off because Romac needs to get in there with a full team and get working. And so they're gonna start Monday, and the other parking lot, all we need is a top coat and striping, but the base, when they did their testing and they had to drill cores and test and stuff, it was just under the specs that was required, you know, just under. So they're trying to figure out, do they rip it out and redo it, or, so those questions are still on the table. But we're gonna start using it starting Monday evening for the volleyball and the basketball programs all the way through May to park over there. And I told them they're just gonna have to wait, unless they can come in here on a day and finish it off. They're just gonna have to wait till after our after our basketball and volleyball is done. I think we have our memorial service is gonna be in there too, coming up here. And then I think Elizabeth's gonna use it too, possibly for the June library. So that's gonna go on. So I feel like we're gonna be going, but I think you'll start seeing more progress starting next week. Of course, it's supposed to rain every day, right? So then that'll slow down, right? So, but that's when we should start seeing progress, and then keep going. Right now, our projections is that by November of '24, I think it is, it should be completed. I want it to be done before we start basketball season, in that year, so. That's what we have. Well, even the election commission, they from Sumner County, used our community room this year, but they're worried that the election's gonna be so big for 2024, they've already asked for a commitment to be in our center. I said, well, it's gonna be really close between one that there's gonna be about a month where they have to close everything down while they tear down the gymnasium. So that'll be interesting when we get to that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess. Yeah, so that's the update on the rec center.
Let's move on to new business. Vice chair, do we need to select somebody or have somebody nominated?
Yeah, we decided last meeting that we'd wait until we had our new members and everything to kind of do that, so I'll leave it open to you guys to discuss that or nominate yourself or whatever you want to do. I'm going to stay out of that.
Anybody interested in being the vice chair? Don't everybody raise their hand.
Everybody's there, so you can't nominate the person who's not here.
Well, come on, I'm chair, and it's really not that difficult. Come on.
I mean, I don't mind doing it. I think I've got another year left on my term, I think. So, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not traveling as much this year. I just hate if I have to miss a meeting or something, but I'm not traveling like 80 days.
We all have to miss them periodically for work, and that's all right.
But like I say, I don't mind, but either way, it don't matter. We just gotta have somebody.
There you have it.
Is that a nomination? Motion?
All right, I'll nominate Mark. Can I do that as the chair?
You can.
Sure, I'm going to nominate. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's yours. You can't be opposed. All right, open space rental options. Tell me about this.
Well, I guess we'll start out, and we've got a lady here that wants to speak about what she wants to do out there, but I just wanted to bring it up that we've had situations like this in the past where people have asked to use, not a particular facility of ours in our parks. Like, for example, we've had somebody approach us about doing a yoga class in our park and, charging people to do that just in an open green space, and we've told them no, we don't have any way for that to happen. And if you were renting a pavilion or something and you wanted to do an event at that, then obviously we've got a rental fee for that and you could rent that. But just doing an open space, like, we don't really have a fee structure for that type of thing. And really, I guess the way that the code was set up, I think their reasoning was just so that we didn't just have anybody just come out there and want to do like a yard sale or something and just be able to do whatever they want. So that's the reason it was set up like that. But I think situations like we've got now, or just like a yoga class like that, I mean, it would be nice to have something set up to where someone could do that.
Right, where they don't necessarily need a pavilion,
right,
but they need space.
Right.
Okay.
And so we've looked at other places. I know Selena's looked at some stuff and may have some suggestions, but I guess I'll let, I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Amanda. I'll let her speak about, and I've got, I think, some files here that I can show for her.
I would be remiss not to recognize our guests. Thank you all for being here.
You want me to just bring up your PowerPoint?
PowerPoint is great, yes, thank you. So I am Amanda Piasecki. I'm a local educator and homeschool mom. And I'm here to talk to you about Elevate Explorers, which is the program that we would like to bring here to White House. So we partner with Elevate Enrichment Center, which is a homeschool enrichment program here in White House. We serve preschool all the way through high schoolers, and our newest program is targeted for 2-year-olds to 8-year-olds and their adults. So it's kind of a special program where I don't just teach the kids, but I teach the adults how to continue that fun and learning back at home. It's an outdoor discovery play class, no, you're fine, which basically just means that, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back to where I was.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
You want me to go forward from this?
Yes, right there is great.
Okay.
It's an outdoor discovery play class, which basically means that we're encouraging kids to learn through play. It has open-ended outcomes, so it's more about like the process of the class, of the play, rather than any like particular like product at the end. Process over product in the learning. We're STEAM-based. It's actually more like I call STEAM-based because there's no technology. We try to get away from the screens, but when I say that, most people just kind of like, I don't know what that is. So it's just easier to call it STEAM.
This is kind of like the outdoor classrooms that they do in like Alabama and Chattanooga.
It's a branch of Tinkergarten. I used to teach in Hendersonville and taught there for many years. So if you have heard of that class, that's kind of where this came from. We always say there's no wrong way to play. We think nature makes the best classroom because you can't bounce off the walls if there aren't any. Some kids learn best through movement, we were talking about earlier. And some kids, I've had many kids that have special needs who are not comfortable around like big groups, and in nature you can always find space. And so it makes this really great way for kids to either have their first educational experience or a different kind of educational experience if they learn differently. You can go to the next slide now. My name is Amanda. I have been teaching nature classes since 2019. I did teach at Saunders Ferry Park in Hendersonville for 1 season, and then I spent the rest of my time at Walton Ferry Arboretum. I do have some certifications that basically mean I've spent a lot of time learning how to do this and how to do this well, how to teach parents and kids, and how to do that in a way that serves the environment well and makes sure that we're good stewards of the places in which we teach. Our current outline and plan is to teach 2 seasons a year, fall and spring, each one lasting 9 weeks. We are going to meet once a week on Thursdays for 75 minutes. This has kind of been what I've done in the past that has worked really well. And our class is divided into 4 segments. We start off with circle time, which is just like the normal preschool kind of stuff that you would think, like singing, dancing, learning some sign language, different things like that. Then we move into the invitation to play and the guided play. And this is where it gets like really special and I get super passionate and excited about. So I developed a curriculum that is based on different like life skills. So problem solving is going to be our curriculum for the fall. And then each class focuses on a piece of children's literature. So one of our classes is going to be Stone Soup, which you may have read as a child or may have read to your children. But it's about these villagers who are hungry and they don't have enough food, but everyone has something. And so they all come together and they solve this problem, they work as a team, and they make this feast together. So we're going to read that story, and then we'll say, well, why don't we make a feast together? Oh, we have a problem. We don't have any ingredients. We can't go to the store. So we look around. Oh, look, nature treasures. Here's some grass. That looks like, spinach to me. And here's some dirt. That looks like some pepper. And so kids are using their imagination, their creativity, problem-solving skills, communication, sensory skills. It all comes together. And what looks like play is actually this really great educational experience. And so that's what we do for the bulk of our time. And then we close with some free play, which also allows the parents to connect to one another, because parents need support too. And they need some time to talk to another adult. And it's just a really great way to serve both kids and the adults. Our paid classes are limited to 16 explorers and their adults. So sometimes, there'll be like 2 or 3 siblings from the same family. We'll have like 1 adult. But the reason why I keep the classes kind of small is because I do like to make one-on-one connections with each family, and And I find that I do that best when I have a class of like 16 or so, because I also have my own 3 kids with me, and so it can get a little bit like organized chaos at some point. And so we do try to keep the classes relatively small. And they are taught in open green areas. So while we could be at a pavilion, that doesn't really serve our class best because kids like to hike, they like to wander. We want to be able to explore different areas of a park and be able to see different sites and what different areas like look like and feel like, and what might work for one class. When we do pulleys, we might need trees. When we do another class and it's rainy, you know, we might need more open space to do like nature painting or something like that. Our outcomes are pretty simple. We want kids to love to learn, love nature, and love their community. We're introducing education in a playful and easy way so that it's fun, and kids associate going to class with playtime. We want kids to love nature. This gives them a predictable and purposeful planned time to be outside every week. A lot of families want to spend more time outside, but we just get busy and things get in the way. And a class like this gives you a purposeful and planned time to be outside each week. And then we want kids to build community and love their community. One of my favorite things I've done when I was in Hendersonville was our community events. My favorite one is when we do our lantern walk in the fall, kind of like winter time frame, where we will do stories and we'll do rhymes and songs. All these families will come together with these like homemade lanterns, and we take a lantern-lit hike through the park at dusk. And then we all gather back together and we have like tea together, and we have this kind of like little cozy closing time. And it's just so special to see like families interacting in that way and giving them that experience. So our next steps, we are currently enrolling for fall. Our anticipated start is in August, and we have a couple of families already signed up. We are searching for open green spaces where we could rent, pay, get a permit, whatever we need to do. I have taught, like I said, in Hendersonville, but I recently partnered with Elevate, and since it's here in White House, we wanted to be more local to this area to serve these families more. And so we're just looking for any space that we can get. I've found some spaces that I think would work really well for our class near the Honey Run Trailhead and then also around the municipal park. But I'm open to suggestions, and really anywhere you'll just let me teach.
So I have a question. Does Elevate offer insurance if
Yes,
you were to get
we have
hurt?
insurance. We do, yes.
Okay.
What do you do like, is it a specific time and day of the week, or do you change it around?
Yes, sir. It is Thursday morning for 75 minutes. Our time is usually 10 to 11:15.
Okay. And it's the same place, like would you say, hey, for the next 9 weeks we're going to meet at this parking lot, this spot?
We always meet at the same park, we always meet in the same spot, but then we might hike to a new area.
Okay.
And the hike is usually like part of the class. There might be like an obstacle course set up along the way, or like a play search where like we have to find these like hidden packages in order to get to our game for the day.
Gotcha. And then the like contingency, like weather, if it is raining.
It is an all-weather class. We meet in all weather.
No matter what, yeah.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad weather, there's just the wrong clothes.
Gotcha.
So kids tend to not mind so much the rain, and I don't either. My kids have like little rain suits. That's actually my daughter wearing her rain suit right there. It was a rainy day in our class. And so it actually just creates a new experience when we have something like that. Now, I will say if there's thunder or lightning, we do not meet. But we have met in rain, we've met in snow, we've met in cold, we've met in very hot. We meet early in the morning, and we do a lot of water play when it's hot outside. We do take precautions for the heat. But part of the class is teaching kids how to get out in all sorts of weather and how to like take care of themselves and their needs, listen to their body, and know how to interact with nature in all circumstances.
So if you would have to cancel one of the classes during the week, would you make it up during that week or add it to the end of this?
It would be added to the end of the season. We very rarely reschedule. Thunder and lightning is pretty much the only reason that we reschedule.
I'm just thinking about things that would need to be included in whatever kind of permit clause.
Yeah. I mean, I almost look at it like to me, it's almost like a co-sponsored league
Yeah,
where you have,
I'm thinking the same way you are.
where you do something where I know we have fees that we have per kid that's in the city limits and out of the city limits. That way we kind of have the two different levels.
Right.
And you have the family where if you've got, 3 siblings, it's like the first two are X and then
Right.
it drops a little bit in price. I mean, you might just
And
implement
you
the
get a
same fee
contract for
structure.
this certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
With
that-
our pay structure, we do something similar. It's $195, which breaks down to a little over $20 per class
Yeah.
for the first kid, and then the second kid is like 50% off of that because basically we're just trying to cover insurance and then also the supplies for the extra kid.
Right, I think you could do, but yeah, the co-sponsored league structure might fit for something like this,
Yeah.
and that way,
But I
You're
guess
not
in
locked
your
in.
fees, I mean, I don't know if they're already set or not, but, is it with the understanding that you may have to pay something to us?
Yes, that comes out of my cut.
Yeah.
I do it mostly out of of love. I was a
Right.
teacher for many years, and I just want to teach kids outside. I want this experience for my own children.
yeah.
I'm a homeschool mom, and so I miss the classroom, but I'm also being called to be with my kids. So this is my opportunity to give this gift to other families as well, offer them support with something that I actually know how to do, and so it's okay.
Yeah, to me, it'd be that
Yeah.
co-sponsored league structure.
That's what I
Hey, you've got access, because you may want to be, I think about Creek Day, and I remember my boys went to a daycare that had the creek and all the stuff, and it's like going to grandma's house for the weekend, and they come home yeah, we were digging in crawdads,
Yes,
and
yes.
somebody got bit by, Quail Ridge, somebody got bit by a snake,
Yeah.
so, and I look back and go, they had a great experience doing that, so I can see
Yeah.
the same thing. And so there might be a day you say, hey, we're going to meet at the Veterans Memorial Trailhead, we're going to go to the creek and have a creek day. So I could see that being something you would just do like a co-sponsored league structure.
Well, just
make
so
it
you
easy.
know that the way that works is that, what is it, Linda, $12 for out of city, $5 maintenance fee
Right.
for each kid.
Yeah.
So $17 per kid.
second child,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
if it's more.
If it's in city, it's.
So I just don't wanna, break you here on anything, but, it's just, that's the way our fee structure works.
Okay, and that
for
is
co-sponsored.
called league? That's how that would be?
Our co-sponsored leagues.
We don't have
We have baseball in the spring, soccer does, spring and fall. We have a football league that does this in the summer and fall, so.
it's per kid one time a year too. So
Right.
you pay. So let's say if you had a kid that was in the spring and in the fall, you pay that fee for that person. Is
Do
it
they pay us for, it's per
season or
season?
per
It's
child?
Like
Well,
soccer pays us two different times,
I
right?
thought it was
For
per
fall
year.
and spring, yeah, that's what I thought.
It's per.
It's per year, so you're only getting the new ones in
Yeah.
the second round. So
Oh.
that's how.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's per
yeah.
year.
We got a long list. I mean, it seems like we were getting it twice.
You might have
Yeah.
been, but you might want to check your contract, because that's what it says.
Yeah, because I think, and you got almost in soccer, you got almost a lot of kids that will play in the fall because they're playing baseball in the spring, so they'll play soccer in the fall, and then you have kids that are playing in the spring because they play football in the fall or something. So it's,
Yeah.
you do have a lot, you have some that'll play year round, you have a lot that'll play different seasons.
Yeah.
So that may be what it is, but I think it was a 1 year
It's
thing.
one, yeah.
And baseball, of course,
Unless
is just
it's
one
changed.
season.
Right.
Football is
Unless it's
one
changed
season.
since we've been doing it, Mark. It's been a while. How long ago did you do it?
Long time.
I mean, I did it.
Is that
long-
dual, Kevin?
Yeah, I think so, but I think for me, I wanna make sure that, and she was under the understanding, we're not trying to sit here and approve just her
Yeah,
thing. I
yeah,
wanna
yeah.
make sure that
We got a policy.
we've got something set up to
Yeah.
where, if this comes up in the future, that is a good idea to just make it like a co-sponsored league for this in particular, but we do get questions about that from time to time, that it might be good just to have something set up. I mean, if you guys just want us to look up something and come up with a policy ourselves, we can do that, or if you have ideas for, how we should go about that, or if we should not do it at all, I'm all ears,
And you may want to, I know one of the things too with the co-sponsored leagues is you don't want to have 5 people come and try to bring a baseball program in and try to
Right.
split fields. It's just difficult. But I think if you, something like this where you've got a park structure where you've got multiple, you're not going to have 20 of these classes going on.
Right.
But if you said, let's have a a structure that maybe you start out with the co-sponsored league, and it may or may not work. You may go, ooh, wait a minute, but you may go, that's actually not a bad fee structure. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, the way it works with baseball and soccer and all that, you know, that's a non-exclusive use permit or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like they basically got rights to those fields and everything, and I don't know if we'd wanna structure it that way with, like, you've
Right.
got,
No, yeah.
you know, whatever you want at the park, but,
Yeah.
And since she's gonna be moving around and not in one place, would it be easier just to charge her like one fee per day that she's there instead of per kid? Because I mean, her classes are 16 kids, and she's probably gonna be full on all the classes, cause I went to a homeschool meeting the other week, and it was like insane how many
Blown
people, yeah, it's going
I
way
will
up,
say
so.
that typically my classes do fill up and I have a waiting list. That's when I was in Hendersonville and well known.
Yeah.
So I'm moving to a new area. I have some families who are following me, but the idea was also to like bring it to a new area. So we do anticipate classes to fill up.
I mean, even with like yoga, if they set up in a field somewhere, they can easily move to another part of the field if
Yeah.
somebody's using that space. So I mean,
yeah.
instead of doing it like a per person, just like a per
Well,
event.
you know, with like Hendersonville, I guess they have like a group rate.
That's what I was wondering.
You know.
Yeah, there's like
That's what they did
thresholds,
before.
if you're under this many
Yeah.
numbers, you pay this fee, and as you bump up on your group size,
Right, I mean,
you
we
bump
can't,
your
you
fee
can't be the
structure
only
up.
people who've been asked to do this, and we wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel
No,
necessarily.
yeah. That's why because it's hard to find people's fees online, I found
Right.
that. But that was one of the only places we could find where, you know, it specifically talked about, you know, like, something like this. So, it's easy to, you know, just kinda piggyback off of that, I feel like, but,
Is the pavilion rental more expensive than this co-sponsored idea that you're looking at?
I don't know, I have to break that down in my
Pavilion
brain.
rentals,
I mean, it's like
15
$10 an hour.
10 to 15 an hour, and she'd have 9 sessions, but an hour, not true.
Because if she had a
Yeah.
pavilion, the kids could do whatever they want.
Yeah, maybe- yeah, maybe-
It's not like
maybe
you can't go to
easier
the park
than-
and play, it's an open park.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what if somebody else wants it? I guess it's a thing.
Well, okay, so let's say not pavilion, I mean, if she just took the kids to the park and they started playing in the park, they're allowed to play in the park, how do we stop that?
Right, yeah, no, yeah.
Well, you're with an
But-
organized group, you can't, I mean, kids come
Right.
over from the schools all the time and
Yeah.
buses and stuff like that.
But it's
They
not
don't charge them.
you know, they're paying to take this class and everything, that's the big difference is, you know, we don't want people just coming in making money off of the park, you know, that type of thing. That's the whole issue. I wouldn't care at all if somebody just comes there, you know, whatever. If she was doing a free class, yeah, go ahead, but it's just a little different when it's, you know, you got money involved and everything, so it just keeps it, like I said, from people being able to come in the park and just start setting up shop and selling whatever they want or doing a yard sale or whatever. I mean, where's the line, I guess?
Well, and you also don't want a parent to pay $195 to go to the park, and then they can't get to an area because someone else is, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
like,
Someone's using it.
someone.
Oh, yeah, we would make sure wherever she's gonna go, I mean, it's, you know, it's open,
Right.
there's no doubt. I mean,
I'm
if
just saying, we
if
don't
came
want
to an
the
agreement.
social media, like, we paid $195 for this class, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Well, the research you did, how much are we talking for something this size?
You
Like
remember?
Hendersonville, what did they
I
charge?
can't, I had them printed out on my desk, I can't
Okay.
remember off the top of my head.
I mean, we can come up with whatever we want, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not like we're trying to make money here, it's just,
No, yeah.
we're just trying to deter it from becoming a, you know, thing, so it's just, yeah, I mean, it's not, we don't have to charge a whole lot of money, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could look at just picking a pavilion rate and that being an open space rental rate, but we need to make sure that that's the direction we wanna go and we don't have other considerations like group size. If we have 200 people on the Greenway and they only paid $15 for that hour, it gets a little sloppy.
Mhm.
So we just need to make sure we know
So the
how
group
to.
size
So
is a
she's
good
wanting
idea.
she's wanting to start in August, why don't you put a couple of proposals together, and the next meeting we can decide and go from there.
Or you
Is
could send it
July
out.
too late for that?
You could send it out to the board if you guys could come
Yeah.
up
And
with
we can do it
something.
via email.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we
that's
would
fine.
actually wanna, I guess we need to get it in June, don't we?
That's-
for the-
Yeah.
That would be the
resolution.
preferred idea for us to have it in our June board meeting, so I would.
Yeah, I can send it out in an email if we come up with the structure, and if everybody's good with it, then we can just go from there, so, okay.
I'm trying to get all of our fees and resolutions all together for our June final board for the budget year, so
Right.
it would be good if you guys could come to a decision before that.
I do have a question, or I want your opinions on if we did an, co-sponsored league structure, do you guys have any thoughts, or do we need to consider, like, since this isn't, open to the public co-league, she's not having open registration, it's only through that, do you guys have any thoughts or hesitations about, we have this co-league structured, but it's only offered to a specific portion of our community?
Something like that with cooking, didn't we, with the cooking classes?
No, it was open to the public.
That was
whoever
open to the
signed up.
public.
We just, it stopped, it was a certain threshold, we could, only could take a certain amount.
But you took the registrations, it wasn't the instructor?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, what prevents her from, or us, combining to open it up to the public?
That would be her
I think
choice.
it's class size for you, it's class
Well, and
size.
time.
Yeah, I can.
She's the only one certified, right?
I am, and I can really only manage 16 families. The most I've ever had was like 18, and that was a little bit more like chaos. Now, when I do the community events, I typically have a higher attendance, usually like 25 full families, so it might be like 50 plus people. But those are just like twice a year, and those are free community events.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it might just be better for us to come up with like a group rate or something to where, because yeah, if we're doing something like that, then yeah, I kind of agree with what Selena's getting at, is like we wouldn't want to make it like it's one of our offsets of one of our leagues or something when we're not offering it to anybody really.
Right.
Nobody can do it other than just through her organization. But I'm not criticizing.
No,
It's
it's a
just
great
that's just the way it's set
Yeah,
up. So.
yeah, I'd say if you go with the group rate, that way, if you, like the fear was, hey, if we've got group rates with different levels, and then with each level, you have to have, this amount of support. Hey, if you have over 200 people, you gotta bring a porta potty in with your rental fee or something. I'm just, you think about, with a group from like 0 to 25, everything's just basic, show up, do your thing, so.
Right.
And then just cover us as far as making sure they have to have insurance,
Oh,
I mean,
we'll
they're
definitely do
insured and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Are the parents participating as
Yes,
well?
yes, the parents get down in the mud with the kids. It's wonderful.
So nobody's like dropping a kid off and then.
No, the parents must stay.
Here you go.
with them.
You mean like baseball and soccer?
Yeah.
Look, sometimes you prefer that.
I think it's a great class, I think
Thank you so
it'd be fun, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have my contact information on the next slide. So should I just wait to hear back from you all?
Yeah, we'll get together and talk about it, and like I said, we have to have it to the June meeting, so by, I don't know when it's probably June 20 something that it'll have to go to the board for approval. So after that, we'll have a rate set up. That following Monday, you can probably call us, or we can contact you and let you know what that rate is and get it all set up.
Alright.
So
Thanks.
All
Is
right.
there a part that you would prefer, just so like I know when I'm making my planning?
it really doesn't matter to us. I mean, if it's, we'll make, at that time of the day, it's, we can make anything work, I think, right?
Yeah,
Even
no,
next
we're
week,
good. No, we'll be good.
Alright, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I know we've been here for a while already, and I'm just gonna bring this up because I know the mayor mentioned this to me at our budget retreat, wanting us to maybe take a look at our tournament fees. I guess he was thinking maybe they're a little low. So I've just like I mentioned earlier, it's really hard to find people's fees. But just looking around online, I think I've got a file that I found some places, and but I could see the argument for maybe raising it up, just looking at the few that I found. Where am I?
When was the last time we increased the fee? Ever?
That was when Ashley was here, so it's probably 7 or 8 years ago.
Right now,
Yeah.
raises if you're there.
Yeah, Ashley came up with that fee structure. I found some other like Sevierville, they've got a really extensive thing. I would not probably wanna, I mean, I like it, but it's just so much. Probably because they've got so many tournaments that go on there, but it's based on the number of fields you use and stuff.
Isn't
But-
Sevierville near Gatlinburg?
Yes.
Yeah, they have a lot of.
I'm sure, yeah. They've got that Cal Ripken field too. which
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
sure
say, and they
use.
have a really nice field.
Yeah. And then Milan, they do, I just like their little setup on their practice fees, but they have $100 per field per day.
When I was a kid.
Smyrna has $150, and then a $10 team fee on top of that. So, and then Hendersonville does $100 per field per day. So, I mean, I could see the argument for us going to 100.
What are we now?
What are?
We're 75.
Okay. Bump it to 100, yeah.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. I'll do $200.
Well, considering we haven't revisited the fee in
Mhm.
at least 5 years, I don't see why we shouldn't be able to do it.
And I think we just kind of do this ourselves with the tournaments and stuff, but like if somebody wants us to put bags out there, we usually charge them what it costs us to put them out and stuff. I don't think that's a fee that we have to like have set up like policy-wise or anything. It's just kind of, to me, it's just, should be just standard practice, but I just wanted to mention that.
Bags, that what, trash bags or?
No,
Bags
field dry, yeah.
Okay.
If people want us to, like, go to work on their fields and get them ready, if we can, then we just charge them whatever those bags cost us.
Well, then maybe just add a separate field prep fee or something to that.
Yeah, Hendersonville kind of has something like that too.
Yeah, I was looking at that. In there.
Because when I coached and you coached, we had to do it ourselves.
Yeah, we had a lot of fields.
Yeah.
So like if a baseball tournament.
They've had in like their maintenance fee, like.
Yeah, they've got on
yeah.
here $100 mandatory fee to cover a worker. They've got,
Don't we have different fees now, if lights or no lights?
yes.
What's that?
But now the tournament fee is different. It's just $75 per day per field, and that doesn't matter if you use lights or not.
Okay.
It's only on the hourly rate for like renting it for practices and stuff is when that's different, so. But, and then we got a different, I don't know if he was really referencing our soccer tournament fees, but soccer's totally different than baseball setup, because soccer, it's just, it's $15 per team.
Right.
And that's it. Except for the 3v3, we did pass a resolution to get that down in half to $750 per team. So, but there's no other fees other than that I'm aware of, that we charge for that. But that's also probably a good thing because it's the league doing it.
Right.
It's not an outside, travel team that's coming in doing
Right.
it. So,
And they've given a lot back to the city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not suggesting we do that. It's just, I know that the leagues can get a little touchy about things, but I don't think we're affecting any league by doing this. It's mostly just be travel team tournaments. Now, I know the baseball league does their all-star tournaments and stuff, so this will make that go up a little bit, but, I mean, you're talking maybe an extra $100 a day or something, so I think they'll make that back on their concessions.
Yeah, they definitely, for sure,
But-
yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, so you're suggesting maybe we put in like a little maintenance fee on top of this? I think when Ashley first came up with the fee, I think he tried to incorporate all that stuff like in that fee, but I can see the argument. I mean, we bring in a lot of people for tournaments a lot of times, and I'm sure if you really looked at it just from a city perspective, we're spending more money than we're making on the tournament.
Exactly.
Now, of course, the tournaments bring in people and they go to the restaurants and all that, but just as far as our department or as the city, yeah, we're probably losing money, but.
Your parks maintenance fee, or what you get from the parks fee from all the tax revenue probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, you can probably figure it out. You look at your weekends and you have a tournament, it's just like, goes to the roof.
Yeah, I mean, we do okay on the fees coming in so far. I mean, like I said, it's not gonna pay for your parks department, but it does help quite a bit, it pays for uniforms, trophies, and stuff that they pay and everything, so that's pretty good, so.
All right, well, I'll put together a little something on this and send it out with the other open space stuff ideas and do that. That's all I got.
If you don't mind, I'd just like to cover just a little bit, or Chair, if you don't mind, Jim? Just real quick, I just want to tell that we're just about done with the budget. We'll have our first reading coming up here in a couple weeks, second reading in June. Kevin has several items in the budget that, if they get approved, he can probably go over all that with you in July. I do want to say that, in the past, you've been on the board for a while, and we've gone through some of my comprehensive, plan production. We've done the grand master plan for the Byron Family Park, which is on the wall inside that room there, and so you can see that. That's been decided, and this year Kevin put in there, he wanted to do a master plan for leisure services, so he'll be hiring a company to help with that, and this board is going to be very instrumental in helping us, put this plan together this year, so plan on some work this year, because I think he's budgeted $60,000 for this plan, so it'll be, I'm sure they're going to be having some community meetings, and your input's going to be so important for us to come up with this plan, because we're going to need it for future grants. They're always asking for what your vision plan and what your comprehensive plan is for your parks. So just looking forward to that. That's all I have to say.
We're here for you.
Good. I need you.
I said it. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't want me to plant the seed. He would like someday in the future to see a pool for the city. So I said there is room out in the Byron Family Park out in the front. When you look at, there's quite a bit area there, so you could have an aquatic center there someday.
Talk about
City wants to take it away.
Well, we hire an aquatics person. That's great.
Yeah, as long as there's someone that takes care of that.
Get me way away from that.
So I said I would plant
Again,
the seed.
your chair works in property and casualty insurance. You might want to really think about that.
Well, he has thought through it. I mean, we've had discussions about it before, and he just told me to plant the seed with Leisure Service Board, so I have planted the seed.
All right. There are a lot of folks out there that would like to see an aquatic center and a pool, and they always talk about the why, and why don't we have this, why don't we have that, everything else, and it's there. Interest is there, but we'll have to see where we move it from this point forward.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, it could be a while. I mean, obviously, we got a lot of work to do on Byron Family Park, and just Byron texted me this morning, it's his birthday, so I know he's still doing good. At 90, he'll be 90. I think he just turned 91 in April. So.
Yeah, May. You talking about Tom?
Yeah, May
his
is
birthday's like May 8th or something.
So it's coming up.
He's slowing down a little bit. Sat next to him.
Well, he went golfing today, so.
He's only playing golf. Slow down a little bit.
Not much.
Not much, but
He's still
just a little.
driving his car, going shopping at Kroger.
All right. Next meeting is July 6th, right? Folks, I will not be here, so we'll make sure that we'll have enough folks. I'll be in northern Michigan at the time, so hopefully.
So it's a Kid Rock song.
Hopefully Mark will be here, the vice chair.
My vice chair will be here, hopefully. Unless I get back fast through Chicago, I won't be here. So let's see, I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anyone want to stay on?